Have you ever found yourself in that nerve-wracking moment when she starts testing you after you've gone silent? It's no accident. This is her way of figuring out if you're still the strong, confident man who caught her attention in the first place, or if you've become someone she can easily walk all over. How you respond to these tests can either pull her in, deepening her attraction, or push her away, making her lose interest completely. Stick with me and I'll explain exactly why she pulls these stunts after you've stopped contacting her, and show you how to handle them with the confidence, poise, and power of a high-value man who knows his worth and won't settle for less. 1. Why she tests you after no contact. When you decide to go silent, you're not just creating physical space, you're stirring up a storm of emotions within her. Before you stopped reaching out, she had grown accustomed to the rhythm of your communication, the steady flow of messages, the comfort of knowing you'd always be there. It gave her a sense of control and stability. She knew she could rely on your attention, that you'd be the one to reach out, and that you'd keep the connection alive. But the moment you withdraw, it's like hitting the pause button on the reality she was comfortable in. Your absence becomes a wake-up call that forces her to confront a truth she wasn't expecting. So why does this silence have such a powerful effect on her? It's simple. People don't truly appreciate what they have until it's no longer there. When you pull away, it forces her to stop and reflect. At first, she may brush it off, thinking, "He'll come back around. It's no big deal." But as the days stretch on and you don't reach out, uncertainty creeps in. Her mind starts racing. Why hasn't he contacted me? Has he moved on? Did I do something wrong? This uncertainty is uncomfortable, unsettling. It doesn't just make her miss your texts or calls, it shakes her entire emotional foundation. The power dynamic has shifted, and for the first time, she doesn't have control. That loss of control triggers deep, intense emotions. What does she do next? She tests you. Why? She needs to regain control of the situation without exposing herself to rejection. By testing you, she gets to assess where you stand emotionally without risking vulnerability herself. She wants to know, is he still interested, or has he moved on for good? Your response to these tests is crucial. It will either show her that you're the strong, confident man she's always been intrigued by, or it will confirm her fears that she still holds the power in the relationship. How you handle these tests can either bring her closer, making her chase you harder, or push her further away, causing her to lose respect and interest. Are you ready for what comes next? 2. The types of tests she'll throw your way. You might think her actions are harmless, but don't be fooled. Every test she throws your way is strategically designed to reveal something deeper about you, your emotional strength, your confidence, and your ability to maintain strong boundaries. These aren't random moves. They're intentional checks to see how far you've come and if you've mastered the art of maintaining your emotional composure. Let's dive into some of the most common tests she'll use and what each one really means. The casual text test. You might get a simple, "Hey," or "What's up?" It seems like just a friendly check-in, right? Wrong. This is a calculated move to see how much you're still emotionally available. If you jump to respond too quickly or eagerly, she'll sense that you've been waiting for this moment, that you've been craving her attention all along. She wants to see if you're still chasing her, or if you've become the man who has learned how to be comfortable without her. The social media move. She'll start liking your posts, watching your stories, or even posting things that seem designed to catch your eye. Maybe she posts a picture with another guy or shares a cryptic caption like, "Living my best life." It's easy to think this is her moving on, but it's not. She's testing your jealousy, trying to provoke a reaction. She wants to see if you'll feel threatened and reach out, or if you'll stay calm and in control. The nostalgia trap. Out of nowhere, she might send a message like, "Remember that crazy road trip we took?" This isn't just a random trip down memory lane, it's a test. She wants to see if that bond you shared still holds any weight for you. Is the connection still alive? Or have you let the silence between you replace the warmth you once shared? Her test isn't just about reminiscing, it's about checking your emotional pulse to see if you're still invested in the past, the emotional test. She might reach out with a personal issue, saying something like, "I've been feeling really down lately." This is her way of probing your boundaries. Will you rush in to rescue her, risk rekindling emotional attachment, or will you stand firm, maintaining the distance you've worked so hard to create? This test is all about seeing how much power she still holds over your emotions. These tests aren't random, they're carefully crafted to reveal whether you've truly grown, whether you've maintained your boundaries, and whether you're still emotionally available. Recognizing these tests is the first step to mastering this emotional game. But how you respond will determine whether she respects you or walks away. The power is in your hands. The way you handle her tests will either affirm your strength or show her that you're still vulnerable to her influence. It's time to show her the man you've become. The biggest mistake men make when tested by a woman is reacting emotionally. Whether it's an ambiguous text, a cryptic social media post, or a seemingly harmless comment designed to get under your skin, many guys take the bait and respond impulsively. What they don't realize is that by reacting right away, they're handing her exactly what she wants: control. The moment you let your emotions take over, you've already lost. So, how can you recognize a test without falling into her trap? The first step is learning how to read her behavior. It's about tuning into the little patterns and signals she's sending out so you don't get caught off guard. Take, for example, when she sends a vague text like, "Hey stranger," or "What's up?" It might seem like a casual check-in, but it's far from innocent. These types of messages are designed to provoke an emotional response from you. She wants to see how eager you are to engage. If you rush to reply, she'll sense that you've been waiting for her message, and she'll see it as a sign of desperation. On the other hand, if you stay cool and unbothered, it shows her you're not waiting around for her attention. You've got a life of your own. This is the first sign of emotional control, not jumping at the first opportunity to respond. Another common test is her sudden spike in activity on social media. She might start liking your posts, watching your stories, or posting content that feels like it's aimed at you. Maybe it's a photo with another guy or a cryptic caption like, "Living my best life." These aren't just random updates, they're meant to provoke a reaction. She's testing your jealousy, seeing if you'll be bothered by her attention to someone else, or if you'll make the first move to reclaim her. But here's the key: don't react. Stay unbothered. If you engage emotionally, you lose. If you stay calm and composed, you shift the power dynamic in your favor. And then there's the nostalgia test. She might suddenly bring up an old memory like, "Remember that wild road trip we took?" This isn't just a trip down memory lane. It's a strategic move to see if you're still emotionally invested in the past. She wants to know if those feelings are still alive for you. Will you fall into the trap and reminisce with her? Or will you stay grounded in the present and not let her pull you back into a place of emotional attachment? Recognizing these tests is essential, but how you respond is what truly matters. The key is to stay grounded and composed. Don't rush to reply or let your emotions take control. Instead, take a moment to pause and breathe. Ask yourself, what's her real intention here? Is she genuinely trying to reconnect, or is this just another game to test my boundaries? By resisting the urge to respond immediately, you're showing her that you're not easily swayed. You've mastered emotional control, and that's what sets you apart as a high-value man. When you don't react emotionally, you change the entire dynamic. She becomes more intrigued, and if she respects you, she'll start chasing you instead. The key to passing every test. Passing her tests isn't about playing hard to get or ignoring her completely. It's about standing firm in your own value and showing her that you are a man who has his life together, confident, composed, and in control of his own journey. When she throws a test your way, what she's really seeking is reassurance. She wants to know if you have the emotional strength to handle her, if you're stable enough to stand your ground, and if you respect yourself enough not to be swayed by her games. So, how do you pass every test with ease? Here's the blueprint. Stay calm and collected. Whether it's a cryptic text, a social media post meant to provoke, or a sudden emotional outreach, your first reaction should always be calmness. Don't let her actions stir you. Stay grounded and in control. Take your time. When she sends you a message, don't rush to respond. Let the silence linger. Let her wonder if you're sitting around waiting for her to reach out, or if you're simply busy living your own life. This subtly shifts the power dynamic in your favor. Be clear, but not overly invested. If you do decide to respond, keep it short, confident, and assertive. A simple message like, "Hey, just focusing on my goals and staying busy." This shows her that you've got a life outside of her, and that your focus is on personal growth, not her drama. Don't overreact. If she tries to provoke jealousy or guilt, whether with her actions or words, stay unfazed. Don't give in to the chaos. Stay focused on what truly matters, your own journey. Reacting emotionally only gives her the power. Passing her tests is about proving to yourself that you've mastered emotional control, that you value your own time and energy, and that you won't be manipulated by her games. When you respond from a place of self-respect, you show her that you're the one in control, and that's incredibly attractive. Why her tests are an opportunity, not a threat. At first, her tests might seem frustrating, even manipulative, but in reality, they are opportunities in disguise. When she tests you, she's not trying to knock you down, she's giving you a chance to prove your value. Not by chasing her or reacting emotionally, but by staying grounded in your confidence and emotional maturity. Think of it this way. Every test is her way of assessing whether you're truly the strong, composed man you appear to be. She's evaluating if you're worth her time, emotional investment, and energy. When you pass her tests, you reinforce her perception of you as someone who is high value, someone who has it together, who knows his worth, and who is emotionally stable. You're showing her that you're the type of man she could build something meaningful with. Here's the mindset shift that will change everything. Instead of viewing her tests as obstacles, start seeing them as opportunities. Opportunities to demonstrate how far you've come. Every test is a chance to show her that you're no longer the man who used to chase her or seek her approval. You've evolved. Her tests are a reflection of your growth. They're not there to knock you down. They're there to give you the platform to prove your emotional strength, self-respect, and inner stability. This is your moment to shine. When you start seeing her tests as opportunities rather than threats, you're completely flipping the script. No longer are you caught in a game where she's the one holding the cards. Instead, You are the one setting the tone, taking charge, and showing her that you are in control. This shift is profound because it signifies that the foundation of your relationship is no longer based on emotional manipulation or desperation. It's rooted in mutual respect and healthy boundaries. Think about it. Imagine every time she throws a test your way, you don't react emotionally, but instead respond with confidence and self-assurance. You're no longer the one chasing validation. Instead, you're standing tall, showing her that you've grown and evolved into a high-value man who won't be swayed by games or emotional manipulation. This is the essence of a mature, balanced relationship, a relationship where both partners feel valued, respected, and equally invested. So, the next time she tests you, see it as a golden opportunity. It's your moment to shine, to demonstrate that you've mastered your emotions, and to showcase your growth as an individual. When you remain calm and composed, you show her that you're not easily rattled by her antics. Your self-respect and emotional control become the foundation for a healthier dynamic, and that's incredibly attractive. You're not just passing a test. You're setting the stage for a deeper, more meaningful connection. You're no longer reacting, you're responding from a place of power. She becomes curious about your life without her. One of the most powerful and often overlooked effects of going no contact is the intense curiosity it sparks in her. The moment you stop chasing her, stop reaching out, she's left in the dark, wondering what's going on in your life. It's not indifference that drives her curiosity. It's a deep, almost primal instinct to understand her place in your world, now that you've stepped out of hers. What's he up to? Is he happier without me? Is he spending more time with friends? Has he moved on? These questions begin to fill her mind, and the uncertainty only makes her more fixated on finding out what you're doing. The more she's left in the dark, the more her curiosity grows. And that's where the magic happens. She might start scrolling through your social media, rereading old texts, or even asking mutual friends about you. The silence you've created makes her question everything, what's really going on in your life. This is when you know the dynamic has shifted. She's no longer the one in control, trying to provoke a response from you. Instead, she's seeking answers from you, trying to piece together the puzzle that is now your life. Your absence has turned into her obsession, and the more you stay composed and unaffected by her attempts to engage, the more she'll feel that magnetic pull to figure you out. This curiosity isn't just about wanting to know what you're doing. It's about her need for validation. She wants to reassure herself that even though she's not hearing from you, she still holds a significant place in your life. The longer you remain silent, the more she begins to question her own importance in your world. And the more she questions, the more she'll seek answers, leading to her taking action. Maybe she'll reach out with a casual text or start liking your posts on social media. These small moves are a clear sign that her curiosity is reaching its peak. The more she wonders, the more she'll be drawn to you. Curiosity is your power, and the less you react, the more she'll feel compelled to reconnect. She starts to doubt her own decisions. As the silence stretches on, something incredible begins to happen. Her initial confusion starts to give way to self-doubt. She begins questioning her decisions, the choices that led to this point. Did I take him for granted? Was I too dismissive of everything he did for me? Did I misjudge the depth of our connection? These questions don't flood her mind all at once. They build slowly, piece by piece, and at first, she tries to brush them off with excuses like, he'll come back eventually, or it wasn't that serious anyway. But as the days pass and the silence continues, those excuses start to lose their grip, and she's left with the painful truth. She might have made a mistake. This moment of reflection is powerful. It forces her to look inward and examine her own actions. She starts replaying every conversation, every moment with you, wondering where things went wrong. And as she does, the regret starts to settle in. The longer she sits with her doubts, the stronger they become. She begins to realize that she might have overlooked something truly valuable in you, the attention, the care, the emotional connection you provided. And now, that realization hits harder than ever before. It's at this point that she may begin to take action. The silence you've maintained has stirred something deep inside her, and she might feel compelled to reach out or try to reconnect. Your absence has planted a seed of doubt in her mind, and as that seed grows, it becomes harder for her to ignore. The reality of what she's lost starts to weigh on her, and she finds herself wondering if it's too late to fix things. This shift is transformative for both of you. She's no longer focused on you chasing her. She's now focused on her own mistakes and the possibility of making amends. She begins to idealize you. As time passes, something even more captivating happens. She starts to idealize you in your absence. The memory of your best moments together becomes more vivid, and her mind begins to focus on the parts of your connection that brought her joy. The way you made her laugh, the thoughtfulness of your gestures, the emotional support you always offered. This shift is known as rose-colored retrospection. When someone is no longer in our lives, our minds tend to amplify the positive moments and minimize the negative, making the past seem far more perfect than it actually was. For her, this means that you're no longer just a memory of someone she used to know. You've transformed into an idealized version of the person she wishes she still had in her life. She starts thinking, I didn't realize how much he truly added to my life. Or, I miss the way he made me feel understood and appreciated. The more time passes, the more she elevates you in her mind, until your absence becomes a powerful reminder of what she's lost. It's not just nostalgia, it's a realization of your unique value. And the more she idealizes you, the stronger the pull becomes to reconnect. This process is the ultimate emotional shift. The longer you stay away, the more her perception of you grows. She begins to recognize what you brought to her life, things she took for granted before. Now, she can't help but wonder if she's made a mistake. The power of your absence works its magic, and the more she reflects, the more she wants you back. This is the moment when the real magic of no contact reveals its power. By creating the space for her to idealize you, you've unlocked the perfect environment for her to feel the pull to reach out. The longer you maintain your distance, the more she'll start to build you up in her mind. You become more than just a memory, you become an idealized version of the person she once had, and that vision in her mind will ignite a burning desire to close the gap you've created. She becomes afraid of losing you for good. As her curiosity intensifies and her doubts grow, something deeper begins to take hold: fear. It's not just the fear of losing you, it's the fear of losing the connection, the emotional security, and the sense of self she had when she was with you. Your silence, your absence begins to feel permanent, and that realization hits her like a cold wave. The thought of never having that emotional depth with anyone else is terrifying. The longer the silence lasts, the more she begins to question herself. She might find herself spiraling into thoughts like, what if he's already moved on? What if he's happier without me? What if I've lost my chance forever? These questions don't just flicker through her mind, they intensify, echoing louder and louder. until the fear of losing you becomes impossible to ignore. This fear becomes the driving force behind her actions. She might reach out directly, asking to talk, trying to revive the connection. Or she may engage with your social media posts, liking every photo, commenting on your status updates, hoping for any sign that you're still paying attention. She might even send you casual, seemingly innocent texts just to test the waters. But no matter what form it takes, her fear of losing you for good is a clear indication that your approach is working. This is the moment where you must stay grounded. Don't let her fear dictate how you respond. You've already shown your strength by walking away and creating the space for her to reflect. Now, if you choose to respond, do so from a place of self-assurance and respect. You've set the standard by prioritizing your own well-being. It's up to her now to meet you halfway. This moment could be a turning point, and your next move, whether you engage or continue to hold your ground, will determine the future of the relationship. She realizes she needs to change to keep you. The final stage in her emotional journey is nothing short of transformative. As time passes, she begins to replay every conversation, every moment you shared, and she starts to question where things went wrong. She realizes something crucial. If she wants to keep you, she needs to change. But this change isn't just about getting you back. It's about proving that she values the connection you once had and earning your respect. She begins to reflect deeply on her own behavior, evaluating the actions or patterns that may have driven you away. Was she dismissive of your efforts? Did she take your love for granted? Did she fail to appreciate the small, thoughtful gestures you made to show her you cared? These realizations aren't driven solely by guilt. They come from a genuine desire for growth, self-improvement, and maturity. This is the turning point where she begins her transformation, not just to win you back, but to become a better version of herself. If she reaches out to you now, it's no longer about a simple reconnection. It's about showing that she's willing to meet the standards you've set. She may express regret, take full responsibility for her past actions, and even ask what she can do to make things right. This is where your self-respect truly comes into play. By walking away, you've set a bar for how you deserve to be treated. Now, she's responding to that. She's recognizing your worth, and in the process, showing a willingness to step up in ways she might have never done before. Whether you choose to rebuild the relationship is entirely up to you. The important thing is that you've already won. You've shown that you value yourself and your emotional well-being above all else. Walking away wasn't a sign of giving up. It was a declaration that you deserve respect. And now she sees that. This is the moment where the power dynamic shifts in your favor. You've shifted the relationship from one where you were chasing her to one where she's now motivated to chase you. The power is now in your hands, and how you respond will shape what happens next. Whether you choose to give her another chance or move forward on your own, you've already asserted your worth, and that changes everything. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear about your experiences. How did you navigate this process? What shifts did you notice in your own life? Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to connect with you again in the next video.